Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Caraga in the Philippines. Not to be confused with this town over here called Caraga. I'll explain why this is in a moment. But just know that we are talking about the region right here, located on the island of Mindanao, which is like the southernmost main island of the Philippines. There are other islands further south in the Sulu archipelago here, but Mindanao is of the main archipelago. It's the southernmost island. So this region is pretty interesting. It's very heavily forested, really known for its logging industry. But it's also very wet in that this area you can see here, all these lines that indicates a wetland. This is the largest wetland in the Philippines, called the Agusan Marsh. You can see the Agusan River flowing up into the city of Butuan and out into Butuan Bay here. And of course, we'll take a look at this on Google Earth as well. It's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful region, lots of beautiful waterfalls and forests, and you get the idea. It's lovely. There's also beautiful islands out here. We can see Siargao up here, very famous for its surfing, and Dinagat up here. It's also pretty rugged, known for all of its wonderful wilderness. There's some smaller islands here along the coast in the Philippine Sea, part of the Pacific Ocean. It's also, the region borders the Bohol Sea over here, named after the island of Bohol over there. So what's up with the name? Why is there this region and then just nearby a city with the same name, which made my research pretty difficult, to be honest. Well, that is because both areas are named after one of the indigenous peoples who live here, known as the Calagan. I guess that's just how the Spanish would have pronounced it. That is my cat climbing into her little house. Okay. And that is how the Spanish would have pronounced it, or spelled it, I suppose. And the name has stuck. So I suppose it's like how in the United States we have Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. Why is there a place called Kansas not in Kansas? It's one of those, I think. It's just a name that's associated with this area of Mindanao. So that's why, I believe. But that really puts us right into history, talking about the indigenous population. There were many, many different people groups that lived throughout this region in the early history of the Philippines. But of course, once the Spanish arrived, they would just lump them all together, unfortunately, even though their cultures are quite different, even their religions. So the largest power in this part of the Philippines, dating back to like the 1000s, would have been the Rajahnate of Butuan, based here, of course, in Butuan. Oh my goodness, my cat's scratching. Ignore her, okay. The Rajahnate, led by Raja, hence the name, was very much known in the South Pacific here for its gold and had an extensive trading network. And in order to have that trading network, they needed very good boats to travel across the waters here to reach mainland Asia. So they were known for gold and boats, primarily. They traded with the Champa over in Southeast Asia, traded with the Srivijaya Empire, Srivijaya Empire, I suppose, over in the Indonesia, Malaysia, into Southeast Asia, and with the various Chinese powers, like the Song and the Yuan, depending on what time period we were in. They traded with all of them. In the early 15th century, Islam was introduced to this part of the world, and quite a few groups still practice Islam to this day in this part of Mindanao. Most of the people here practice Christianity, which the very first Christian service happened here in Butuan in 1521. Ferdinand Magellan led an Easter Mass there before he was no longer existing, not too far from here due to the peoples there. But that was seen as like the first Christian service in Mindanao, and that religion spread from there. Of course, the Spanish sent missionaries as well, which further pushed not just the Christian religion, but Spanish culture and language, kind of letting Spain put their foot in the door to eventually take over Mindanao and the Philippines by 1597. The only other historical facts that I found prior to World War II were about the raids from the Moro, which I've already covered. Bangsamoro, you can see down here. I'll link my Philippines playlist up in the corner there if you guys want to hear about Bangsamoro and the Moro and their very long, convoluted history there. But yeah, pretty much all that I found were pirate raids led by the Moro up in this area here. Of course, the United States would take over the Philippines after the Spanish-American War, which once World War II and the Pacific kicked off, that encouraged the Japanese to take over the island, and they had total control by 1942. And obviously not going to get into the details of the horrific war crimes committed here because it's not YouTube friendly, nor is it relaxing. I don't even like to think about it, so just know that it was not a pleasant time for many of the people here. And actually, there was a large guerrilla movement against the Japanese. There were many battles that the peoples here launched against them. Very large battles in 1942, 43, pushing into 1945, once the Americans invaded from the north, and pushing out the Japanese in 1945, liberating the cities here, many of which were destroyed by this time from bombings and just the Japanese occupation in general. So it was a big rebuilding period after that. This is also when the logging industry became very prominent here by the 1950s. It was the main industry here and still is today. I believe it's like the logging capital. They have a little cute nickname for it, but I can't remember. But it's like the logging capital of the Philippines, something like that. So that's primarily what this region is known for. It's also the newest region, from what I understand. I didn't confirm that in my research, but it was created in 1995. And that's pretty much the history of Caraga. Pretty much. So yeah, there's a lot to show you on the tablet. There's so many beautiful slideshows, so we'll look at a bunch of them. Let's just get right into it. Let me grab my tablet and we'll explore this area on Google Earth. Here we are in the Caraga region. Let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Here are the islands of the Philippines. Here is Mindanao. Like I said, very easy to find the southernmost of the main archipelago here. The Philippines is located technically in Southeast Asia, but in the islands out here where we can find Indonesia, parts of Malaysia, Brunei, East Timor way down there. When I think of Southeast Asia, I think this. But technically, all of this is part of it as well. You can see the Philippine Sea labeled right there. And for more context, we have Japan up there. There's China. And Australia down here. My cats are now fighting. Okay. I'm trying to find like the best time to film, and like this is the time when my neighborhood is the quietest, but it's when the cats wake up. So it's like, there's like not a perfect time, it seems. Everyone has to make noise at some point, apparently. Let's start over in Butuan, the main city here. You can see the Agusan River flowing out there. And look right here, Magellan's anchorage, where Magellan would have landed in his voyage around the world, which would abruptly stop in the Philippines. Yeah, I think you know why. His crew made it back all the way around the world, so when you hear about Magellan was the first to circumnavigate the globe, his expedition did, but he did not. He abruptly stopped in the Philippines. But he is an important figure in this city due to that Easter service. It like popped up in every bit of research that I read about this area, so evidently it was an extremely important event. Here's the National Museum here for the region. Beautiful clothing here. This looks very cozy. I like that. Oh, and I didn't even notice these. All these deep V-necks. Very nice. Some of the famous boats from the area. And beautiful, beautiful. It says Vietnamese blue and white plate with a chocolate bottom. Central motif is a floral spray, so on and so forth. Very nice. That's lovely. Some more wonderful clothing, and looks like oars for the boats, and pottery, jewelry, and fabrics. More little trinkets, some looking very, very old. Some art there, some more modern art, very colorful. Little canoes, little teapots, those are adorable. But yeah, that lovely pottery, and there's a skeleton man. Perfect for Halloween, I guess. But yeah, I guess we can just look at the main slideshow here for the city. You can get a good idea of what this place is like. It's the big river flowing through. Beautiful trees here. Little tuk-tuks. There's my cats rolling around. A beautiful, looks like a church. That beautiful blue on the ceiling. And yeah, it's a big bustling city. Looks like very much mixes modern with tradition, doesn't it? Yeah, look at that parade float. That's incredible. All right. Let's explore some of the nature here. Sorry if you hear the weird popping sound on my microphone. I have no idea what's happening. Probably because there's a cat chewing on a wire. I'll have to show you the marshes. You can see from above all the wetland there. You can also see all of the deforestation along there. But here are the marshes. Okay, the sound stopped. They've got all their boats, all of the lilies, all of the green. This place very much reminds me of like the Everglades in terms of swampiness, and I suppose the culture that's tied to it. So there's a floating village, And buildings right on the water or in the water in some cases. Agusan Marsh Wildlife Sanctuary. Of course, lots of birds here as well. Lots of life living in the big marshy area here. Look at all of it. Alright, I have to show you. If we head over toward Base Lake, the other thing that always popped up in my research was this waterfall in particular, which doesn't want to pop up. There we go. It's being called the Niagara Falls of the Philippines. And it's very lovely. Big crashing waterfalls. There's all kinds of waterfalls in this region, but these, from what I can tell, are the most famous and most popular. So pretty. Look at all these hanging vines and things around. There's an entrance fee, except kids are free. That's good to know. And all the things you can rent. Very nice. A little trail there to explore. Little shops nearby. I think that's the actual Niagara Falls. I don't think that's this waterfall. But yeah. That came up a lot. Base Lake is another important city here. Of course, doesn't want to go up. There we go. Boom. And see, there's the falls and the beautiful coastline here along the Pacific Ocean and the Philippine Sea. Lots of outriggers. Lots of them. Sure, there's great seafood here, all freshly caught. Yum, yum. Lots of swimming out in the nature here. Lots of beautiful lakes and streams. Just very, wild place, in my opinion. Like, the culture is very much still tied in with all of this wonderful forest area, from what I can tell in my research, at least. Let's look at the cave. Whoa. You know how I feel about caves. It's like caves, I don't know. I don't want to be in a cave. Caves give me the creeps, but I can't stop looking at caves. I think they're fascinating in a way that I don't want to go near them, but I want to know all about caves. I admire cave divers and spelunkers and things like that, but that would never be me. Never ever. Let's look at this waterfall. Oh, how cute. That's a beautiful waterfall. Oh, diving in to this cold water. I bet you it's freezing cold. But the Philippines is a pretty humid place at times, so I bet it feels very refreshing. Kill nothing but time, leave nothing but footprints, take nothing but pictures, keep nothing but memories, believe in nothing but yourself. That's lovely. Let's see what else we have up here. We gotta go see the islands. Of course, you can see all the beaches and resorts. Yeah, see, it's a cold spring, not a hot spring. A cold spring. I bet you it's cold, cold, cold. Nice. Showing you the cottage area. But yeah, lots of lovely beaches and things around. Lots of resorts. The islands over here. When I was playing around for the first time, I kept getting lost. It's overwhelming how large this region is. I kept thinking am I still in the right place? And yeah, it's just really big. See this? Oh, that's right. This place is really neat. Look at this, spliced in half rock here. Look at you. Surely that's man-made. That would be incredible if that was natural. How it's so cleanly cut. Look at all of I assume that's rice. some kind of crop out there. But yeah, that's amazing. That is cool. That would be fun to drive through. But yeah, let's head to the islands. Like, there's so much to look at. As always, I highly encourage you to explore this area for yourself, because there's so much to look at. There's so many lakes and waterfalls, rivers, so much. Here's the island area here. I'm not sure what that sound is outside now. I think it might be an airplane, but it doesn't really sound like it, but I don't know what else that would be. No idea. We're just gonna ignore it. Hopefully you can't hear it. Maybe only I can hear it. I want to show you this island first, though, because this island has a lot. This is Siargao. There's more cold springs, coconut plantation. Hold on. Look at all the coconut trees. My goodness, as far as the eye can see, that's pretty remarkable. Holy moly. And you can drink some coconut water while you're there too. Okay, the sound is gone. I don't know what that was. We can look at, let's see, let's find a good beach to look at. Ooh, rock pools. Ta-da. Wow. Amazing. Beautiful rock formations. There's the pool right by the ocean. That is gorgeous. Good photo spot. The sound is back. It's very annoying. But this place is gorgeous, isn't it? Look at that beach. Oh, that's like a perfect sand. Perfect. Beach, lagoon, and rock formation. Oh, that's a beautiful picture. It's a lobster farm. Here we go. Let's look at this beach. Oh my goodness. Look at that water. Amazing. Oh, perfect sand. That's like my ideal sandy beach there. That is just right. Here's a nice beach. Big, big waves out there. Perfect for surfing, which this is one of the main surf centers of the Philippines. They're getting their board out right now. The surfers, all the instructors are there. It's a lot. Now, this area is also known as the sunrise capital of the Philippines. I assume because the sun would hit this area first. I think up here. Yeah, nope. Maybe it's not here. Maybe it's the other island. Oh yeah, it's definitely the other island. Up here, the northernmost point of Mindanao. I love when they tag stuff like this. This is as far north on Mindanao as you can get. Of course, not the actual island itself, but like the Mindanao area, right? Look at those huge crashing waves. Big mountains. Yeah, I love northernmost, southernmost, easternmost, westernmost points. It's so cool. Bonsai forest. Let's check this out. And from what I've read, this is gorgeous, by the way. From what I've read, the other island, Siargao, is known for surfing. This is known for like hiking and camping. So pretty much outdoor paradise here. Look at this big mountain here. Lots of overlapping 3D photos there, but you see how it looks. Is tagged right there. Let's see. Nope, no pictures. That's okay. Baby shark. Oh, that's right. I do remember looking at this, hoping I would see some baby sharks. Unfortunately, you don't in this slideshow, which it's not what I didn't pay for. But you can see, let's see, can you see all of like the marshiness under the water there? All of the reeds and weeds and all of that. It's perfect for baby sharks to hide under as they grow into big sharks. The Secret Lagoon. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Beautiful rocks there. I have no idea what that sound is outside. I really hope you can't hear it. It's very subtle. But, oh well. Let's go camping! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Very excited to go camping. Look at this. That is my idea of a good time. Just floating out in the secret lagoon in this beautiful water. Yeah, that's pretty great. Pretty amazing there. Let's find a couple more slideshows here on Mindanao Island to look at. But you get the idea. It's all gorgeous. It's all just beautiful, beautiful nature. Here's a waterfall. Nope. But Mariah Nature Spring. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It's all this. Okay, calm down. That's me right there. Like, oh goodness. Yeah, this looks like a fun spot to bring all your friends and hang out by the spring and go swimming with the bros and the fam. Look at the beautiful water. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Look at this waterfall. I think we'll end it here, to be honest. There's so many other beautiful slideshows here, but I want you to go on Google Earth and find them in your own free time. So thank you so much for watching. Sorry for all the background noise. The cats went a little insane, and now there's like, I don't know what's happening outside. I'm gonna have to go investigate. I'll go figure it out. But I hope that this was a nice, relaxing video for you. I hope you appreciated it. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And if you liked this Google Earth portion, the next 2 videos I'm going to do will be just Google Earth, because they are 2 regions in Nicaragua and Ecuador that don't really have like a ton of history associated with them, so I don't want to pull out the map and just do like a 1-minute segment on history, because they are beautiful places. Oh my gosh, Nicaragua, of course, is stunning nature, but you're not going to want to miss the Ecuador one, because I think it's the prettiest spot in Ecuador that I've found yet. There's a paramo there, okay? You know how I feel about paramos. If you don't know what a paramo is, you're going to have to subscribe so you won't miss out. You won't believe how gorgeous it is. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. So many pictures of family groups. Isn't that wonderful? And I hope that you have a good